Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the extraordinary life and, well, really multifaceted legacy of a true pop culture titan. This follows the recent, very sad news of his passing. We've got some incredible source material here to unpack the journey of an icon who wasn't just a wrestler. He was a global cultural phenomenon. Get ready for some, I think, surprising facts and plenty of aha moments for you.
And you're absolutely right. The sources, they really paint a vivid picture of someone whose impact stretched, far beyond the wrestling ring. Our mission today is to pull out the most important insights from all this material, helping you understand not just the facts of his life, but the deeper significance, the influence he had on entertainment, on celebrity, even political landscape.
Yeah.
It's genuinely fascinating how one figure could embody so many aspects of American popular culture and leave such a mark.
Yeah, absolutely. So the news that really sent ripples through the entertainment world just days ago was the passing of a true titan. Terry Bollea, known to millions, really across the globe as Hulk Hogan, died on Thursday, July 24, 2025. He was 71. First responders, they were called to his Clearwater Beach home in Florida around 9:50 in the morning for a cardiac arrest, and he was then taken to Morton Plant Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The official statement was very clear. No signs of foul play or suspicious activity.
Right. And the immediate reaction from World Wrestling and Entertainment, the WWE, that really highlights the sheer scale of his influence, doesn't it? Their statement, it came out quickly, recognizing Hogan as one of pop culture's most recognizable figures and someone who helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. It really begs the question, how did one person become so central to an entire industry's explosion onto the global stage?
That's a great point, because it wasn't just about his talent in the ring, was it? A massive part of it was Hulkamania, that infectious energy Hogan created that truly started running wild in the mid-1980s. I mean, think about that iconic look. The flag-waving American hero with the horseshoe mustache, the signature red and yellow gear, and those absolutely massive arms he famously called his 24-inch pythons. It was a brand in itself.
Exactly. Hulkamania wasn't just some catchphrase. It was like a masterclass in personal branding. And that ultimately pushed professional wrestling into the mainstream. You had this perfectly crafted patriotic hero narrative, right? And it leveraged the emerging power of cable television and just transformed what was largely, a regional niche sport into a global spectacle. He was arguably perhaps the biggest star in WWE's long history, and undeniably the main draw for first WrestleMania in 1985. He wasn't just a face, he was the face. Won, at least 6 WWE championships, earned his rightful induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. It just proved the power of a single larger-than-life persona to create a mass-market phenomenon.
Yeah, and when you look back at his in-ring career, it's basically a highlight reel of pro wrestling's boom period. He became champion in what was then the World Wrestling Federation back in 1984. And his popularity just absolutely exploded from there, setting the stage for that pivotal first WrestleMania in '85. There, he famously teamed up with Mr. T to beat Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Big pop culture moment. And of course, who could ever forget his legendary moment slamming and beating Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3rd in 1987. I mean, that singular event just further supercharged the WWF's momentum. It was huge.
Oh, absolutely huge. And what's truly fascinating is how his feuds, particularly with the late Macho Man Randy Savage, they weren't just matches. They were these compelling narratives that really carried pro wrestling even further. These were storylines that captivated millions. People are invested. And then his pivotal role in the infamous Monday Night Wars in 1996, that was a fiercely competitive era. WWE and World Championship Wrestling, WCW, battling for ratings. His shocking transformation into the villainous Hollywood Hogan character and the formation of the game-changing New World Order, the NWO, which was this villainous stable. That wasn't just a character shift. It was a strategic masterstroke. It really was. It directly challenged WWE's dominance and fundamentally altered the landscape of professional wrestling.
But Hogan's story wasn't over, not by a long shot. In a dramatic return to WWE in 2002, he not only reclaimed his championship, but also engaged in a truly symbolic passing of the torch match with The Rock at WrestleMania X8. And what's fascinating there is that even though Hogan, playing the bad guy, lost that match, the sheer roar of the crowd for him showed just how deeply his connection ran. It was like, for the fans, he was still the ultimate hero, regardless of the persona he was playing at the time.
Indeed. Yeah, that connection was powerful. But Hogan's influence wasn't just confined to the squared circle, was it? So this leads us to consider, how did a wrestling icon transition so kind of seamlessly and effectively into broader celebrity culture.
Right, that's where it gets really interesting. Because he appeared in numerous movies and television shows, perhaps most notably the VH1 reality show Hogan Knows Best.
Mm.
I remember seeing promos for that everywhere. It was clear he'd captured an audience far beyond just sports entertainment. He became a household name, even for people who had, never watched a single wrestling match.
And his foray into politics is another compelling chapter that speaks to his enduring cultural resonance. Even decades after his wrestling peak, Hogan remained this compelling public figure. His endorsement of Donald Trump at the 2024 Republican National Convention that really underscored how his Trumpamania rhetoric, built on the foundations of Hulkamania, could still resonate. He famously merged classic WWE maneuvers with then-candidate Donald Trump's rhetoric, actually shouting, "Let Trumpamania run wild, brother. Let Trumpamania rule again. Let Trumpamania make America great again." And even revealed a Trump fans campaign shirt right there. President Trump himself later lauded Hogan as an absolutely electric speaker, praised his massive cultural impact, saying he entertained fans from all over the world.
Yeah, that was quite a moment. And, we absolutely can't discuss Hogan's life outside the ring without addressing the highly publicized 2016 lawsuit against Gawker Media. A Florida jury famously awarded Hogan, what was it, $115 million?
That's right.
Plus another $25 million in punitive damages. This was after Gawker posted a video of him having sex with his former best friend's wife. Hogan contended it violated his privacy, and he was notably stoic during the trial, smiled, wore black throughout the 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And during that trial, Hogan shared a really powerful quote, I think, about his enduring connection with fans. He said, "Everywhere I show up, people treat me like I'm still the champ." And that really speaks volumes about the sustained power and loyalty his, larger-than-life persona commanded, even through all those personal and legal challenges.
Absolutely. Speaking of enduring personas, he was even planning new ventures recently. Just this past April, he announced plans to serve as the first commissioner for the Real American Freestyle organization, which was described as the first unscripted pro wrestling league. So the idea there is it aims to present a more traditional, outcome-undecided combat sports feel, which is a pretty distinct departure from the often predetermined narratives of standard wrestling. The first event for that is actually scheduled for August 30 at Cleveland State University.
Right. And his motivation for this new venture, Classic Hogan, he said, the idea was so exciting that I get a chance to be involved with all these young people and help guide them in any way, especially to make them huge stars and create a future for them. I've kind of encapsulated his whole philosophy with that iconic line. People might be surprised, but wrestling is wrestling, brother. It really sums up his lifelong dedication to the business.
Yeah, it really does. Ultimately, he was as well known for his larger-than-life personality as he was his in-ring exploits. No question. His famous promos, those incredible hype sessions he used to draw fans into matches, they were legendary performances in themselves. He'd often play off his interviewer, Mean Gene Okerlund, you remember, starting his interviews off with that signature, unmistakable line. "Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. You just knew what was coming." What an incredible deep dive through the life of a figure who truly, truly defined an era, transforming professional wrestling into a global spectacle, becoming a household name far, far beyond the ropes. His journey from the ring to reality TV and even onto the political stage. It paints this vivid picture of a celebrity who just knew how to connect with an audience like very few others could.
Yeah, he really did. His story, it prompts us to consider how individual personas, especially when crafted with such precision and amplified by media, how they can shape entire industries, influence popular culture, and even intersect with broader societal trends in, well, really unexpected ways. It raises an important question, I think, for you listening. In a world that seems constantly craving these larger-than-life figures, what enduring mark does someone like Hulk Hogan leave? Not just in the history books, but in the collective memory of generations. Definitely something for you to ponder as you reflect on this deep dive.